Hey you guys, good evening. I've been a little MIA because I've been working my little butt off over here, okay? And the academy is finally ready, finally. This has been 9 months, probably more because I have been thinking about it for a while, but 9 months since I've intentionally been putting the pieces together and the training and writing down, like going through my past history on things that I did, what did I do, what did I have to overcome, all this kind of stuff, compiling it all, and then actually going out, doing the recording. So each module comes with a video that runs between 20, some of them are 20 minutes long, some of them are 40 minutes long, depending on the material that I need to teach and how long it takes me to teach it, plus workbooks, which I'm going to go through, and a ton of stuff. So I've been working on this for a long time, and finally the past few days I just hunkered down and I was like laser focused, and pretty much I've got it all done. So I'm going to come on and I'm going to go over the workbooks with you guys. Right now, the offer for the academy is open until July 31st, okay? And I'm putting a date and a time frame on it because I know that's what you need to make change, okay? Anything that I have ever done in my life, there was a time limit on it, right? Because if you're anything like me, you will procrastinate and say, oh, I'll do it next week, maybe the next week, but then you never end up doing it, right? So any personal growth that I've ever invested in, there was always a closing cart date, and you had to be in by that date or you miss out on the promotion. And that's exactly what I'm doing for you guys to help you make the process easier for you to invest in yourself and start learning. Okay, so the current promotion, you currently get $500 off, and you get these 2 workbooks that I'm going to go over. Print it like this, bind it, and send it to you in the mail. Okay, after July 31st, the promotion's over, so the course will go up to its full price, and the workbooks will be digital format. So what that means, any students that are coming in after July 31st will definitely have access to the workbooks because it's part of the program. You can't just go in and listen to the videos. The magic happens in the workbooks and the exercises that I give you, but you'll have to print them on your own. Okay, so if you come in after the promotional date, you'll have to print the workbooks on your own, whether you want to print it on a computer or whether you want to get it done, bind it up like this, okay? But until July 31st, you are getting, I will mail you some of these. Okay, so let's kind of go over the first workbook. I poured my life knowledge into these, and I want you to know that everything that I teach, I have personally applied in my life. And some people may look at me and say, oh, you just got lucky, okay? I'm here to tell you that luck and coincidences do not exist. The only reason you see people getting up and getting on, and likewise for those that are constantly hitting roadblocks, is because it all has to do with what's going on up here and what they feel in here, what they feel about themselves, and probably a ton of blocks, okay? I have been studying money, the energetics of money, for a long time. Way back to at least 2016, maybe a little bit before then. So it's been a long time that I have been pouring my every extra time that I have, books, courses, that I have been studying money mindset because I was so intrigued by it. And if you've heard my story, you will understand why. Okay, I have been obsessed and intrigued about the energetics behind money for a long time, and I have personally applied all of that and seen results, obviously, that has nothing to do with luck or coincidences, and I've packed it in to the program. Hey Kaylee, hey Tammy. I'm gonna go over the workbook. Okay, so this is the first workbook. This is the one that you're going to watch the lessons that I have, and you're gonna dive into the exercises that are in the workbook. I'm not going to go through all the exercises. That's for those of you who come into the course to kind of go through. But I will go over the modules that I currently have. So this course, you have lifetime access to it. So which means I am always learning and growing, because it's a passion of mine. I haven't watched TV for, oh gosh, I don't even know how long. My evenings are spent reading books and listening to YouTubes and podcasts, taking in all the information. So anything I learn, I will upload it to the Academy. So you have lifetime access to all of the information and anything new that comes. But right now, as it stands, I have 8 modules. Each module has exercises, because you can't just listen to the knowledge. You've got to do the practical work, right? There's one thing, you can gather knowledge all you want, but until you apply it and do the practical work, put pen to paper and work through what it is that I'm teaching you, is when you'll see changes take place, okay? You can't just gather knowledge and do nothing with it. So there will be a video lesson, which is a PowerPoint with information. Like I said, anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes. I think Forgive and Flow is like the longest one, is 40 minutes, because it's a tough money block and I have a lot to say about it. And then there will be additional resources as well. So module 1 is self-image. We're going to go over how you view yourself. When I say self-image, it has nothing to do with your outer appearance. It has everything to do with in here. It's your mind's eye view of yourself. Not how other people see you, how you see you. And it was usually molded and conditioned into us as a young child. And it may or may not be accurate. I'm willing to bet it's probably inaccurate. Most of us have an altered self-image that is different than who we are. If you were to go and ask 5 friends, tell me 5 things that you love about me, and they told you all that, it would probably be opposite of what you think about yourself. Okay? So self-image is our personal perception of ourselves, and it drives everything. Everything. How you do business, whether you're a risk taker, how you spend money, how you borrow money, whether you feel worthy of earning money, it drives everything. And that is why it is the foundation of the course, because you need to build your self-worth and self-image, and I take you through that, okay? So through here, I give you affirmations in your workbook. I give you exercises, so we put pen to paper, exercises to help build your self-image, okay? Like when I say there is a ton of work, there is a ton of work. But if you're ready to work and you're ready to make permanent change, then I'm happy to have you. Okay, so that's module 1. Module 2 is the foundational principles. So once you are working on and strengthening your self-image, it is important to understand that everything is energy. Okay, whether you believe it or not, everything is working around you in accordance to how you think and how you feel. Okay, a thought produces an emotion, and an emotion has a vibration which resides on a frequency. You can have high vibration, low vibration. If you are constantly in a state of low vibration emotions, you are going to attract things on that same vibration to evoke more of those same emotions. So you must change your thinking around whatever it is, money, yourself, situations, to attract from a higher level. So this is why it is the second most important module to understand as we work through the program. So when I say foundational principles, I give you this diagram here, and you guys have heard me talk about this before. So this is the chart of consciousness by Dr. David Hawkins. So you can see up here, this is high vibration emotions, and when you're in this state, things flow easily. It's like ease. And I have been here. I reside here a lot, where people think, you know, you're just lucky or whatever, because things just come. I been filling in at the dental office, and I went in the other day and they're like, we gave you a $2 raise. Like, what? Like, you know what I mean? When you change your thoughts and your vibration, things no longer become a steady it's not like you're swimming upstream. Sure, circumstances will come up, absolutely. But you're in a different frame, a different state where you're able to look with a different lens. So you can see here, these emotions here, if you reside here, you're in flow, so things are flowing for you. These here, you feel like you hustle and grind. You have to work so hard, but things aren't happening. You're working, and you're not achieving what you want to achieve. And then these here, if you're stuck and you're feeling stuck all the time, these are probably the emotions that you hold on to most, and they're most often subconscious. You don't know you're feeling them, okay? So we go through this, and then of course this course is related to money, okay? So we take those emotions and we do some money emotions, because how money shows up in your life is because whatever emotions you have attached to them, okay? So I give you some exercises there. Module 3 is watch your language. This is something that I learned pretty early on in my money mindset journey. You know, when you first start out dabbling in this kind of stuff and writing affirmations, I bet one of your main affirmations is to get out of debt. So you're writing, I want to be out of debt. It's my goal to be out of debt. And you're writing it in that way. When you don't know that by saying that word, it evokes an emotion, and you're constantly reaffirming that to yourself. So a good way to put it would be, if you want to get out of debt and that is a big goal of yours, a better way to write it would be, I'm so happy and grateful for the abundance that surrounds me, and say nothing about the debt. You have to get really intentional about how you talk around money. I learned this early on, and I got so intentional about my words around money, because once you go through module 2 and you understand the foundational principles of your thoughts and feelings and how it relates to energy, and I teach you it in there, but once you go through module 2, you'll understand why in module 3 we have you watch your language. So I got so intentional about watching my language that when I was $60K in debt and legit no money, and I also share my story on why I was there. And I can pinpoint back and I can tell you exactly why I was there and exactly why I stayed there until I made the shift, okay? And the shift is what I'm teaching you. So when my kids would ask for something or anything like that, the typical thing to say would be, no, we can't afford it, or I can't afford it. I became so laser focused in what I'm going to teach you in module 3 to watch your language that I would no longer use any terms like that. I would never say I can't afford it, I don't have the money. That was out of the vocabulary. Instead, not right now. Okay? You have to get intentional about your language. These modules are all in order for a reason, and they build off of each other. Okay? So, watch your language. So I give you a bunch of prompts here in the workbook. So evaluating your money talk. So how I give you common phrases that you may say, like, it's too expensive, I don't come from money, all these common phrases, and how you can reword them, because you probably use these in your daily. I can't afford that. I have to hustle and grind and work long hours for my money. The more you make, the more they take. All these common money phrases that you may use on a regular basis, and I give you a correct way to say them that's not inhibiting you, okay? So that's module 3. And then module 4 is money blocks. This may be new to you, but money blocks are a thing, mostly rooted in the subconscious, that we have been programmed either through our parents, mentors, society, to believe about money. And when they're deeply rooted in there, and you have money blocks, you're going to find it hard to raise your income or get past certain benchmarks until you work through them. So module 4 is all about money blocks, and the most common, I think I give you the most common 6 money blocks that people struggle with, and how to work through them and look at them from a new lens, so that you no longer struggle with those blocks, and you can unblock them, move forward, and not have to have those subconscious beliefs hold you back, because you probably do have money blocks if you're struggling with money. So we go through and we look at your money memories, where they came from, your fears you have around money, the story you've been telling yourself about money, how you would like your story to be. And then we go through and we work through the money blocks, the different money blocks here, and I have you write them and see them in a new lens, so you can then work through them and release them. Okay, so that's module 4. Module 5 is all about debt. Okay, that was a big one too. I think that training was quite long. I had a lot to say about that. So module 5 is all about debt, and we talk about debt and what it means to us and the emotions that it evokes, and why some people may get into debt and chronically stay in debt, or maybe some people win the lottery but then a few years they're bankrupt, why that happens, or why people come into debt and then pay it off but get right back into debt. There's some energetics behind that. Okay, so that's what we're going to go over in module 5. And remember, the emotions are really important when it comes to money. So I give you a wheel of emotions so that you can help pinpoint which emotions you're feeling. Because sometimes you're like, oh, I feel angry about it, but I don't know how to dial in. So if you go here and you go angry, you can look at angry, and it gives you all these subcategories, so you can really dial in and to see what it is that makes you angry. Because until you work through those emotions that you attach to debt and money, it's just going to be this constant cycle of low vibration emotions. And remember that chart I just showed you? Low vibration emotions keep you in a stuck state. So angry, it could be that you felt let down, humiliated, bitter, mad, aggressive, and it kind of takes you into all these subcategories, so you can get into the root cause, because that's what you're doing. The law of attraction, some of you may think is woo-woo, or you've tried it and it just never worked, but you probably just haven't been taught correctly. The law of attraction is actually a secondary law. The primary law is law of vibration, and has everything to do with what I'm teaching you in module 2. Emotions, vibrations, energy, okay? So you can't just sit and write down, or sit on the couch and be like, okay, I want to earn $20,000 a month. And then it's just gonna magically appear. It doesn't work like that. So if you've ever tried the law of attraction and it hasn't worked for you, it's likely because you haven't been taught correctly. And this is why we need to get to the root cause. So this money course goes within, because everything that is driving your money train is stored in here, deep in your subconscious mind. I guess it would be up here, your subconscious mind, made up from beliefs of maybe even generations ago. Okay, so this is why we talk a lot about emotions, and why you have to go within to work through them. I also give you a feelings list here to help you navigate. This is helpful. It was helpful for me too when I was looking and I, maybe felt negative about something, and I could flip the script and I could go over and say, okay, well, maybe I want to be vibrant, upbeat, and it helped me really trigger or really hone in on which emotions I was feeling. So like maybe I was feeling really guilty, but why? And then I would be able to look through the emotions chart and figure out why that was. Because when you're learning and when you're doing this, you're going to be asking yourself a lot of, okay, why? Okay, and then you uncover that, and then you go in and you go, okay, why? And you uncover that, and you keep dissecting it until you get to the root cause, where you can then let it go and move on. Okay, so that is module 5, all about money blocks. So you can see how this is in order, right? So, debt, that was debt number 5. So number 6 is now forgive and flow. You've worked through money blocks, you were able to work through your debt. Now you need to forgive yourself in order to flow. And I'm going to tell you, forgiveness was the second last block that I had to work through, but it was a block that as soon as I unclogged it, it was like raining. Okay? This is powerful. Don't underestimate the power of forgiveness. Okay, this one I spent a lot of time on in the lesson as well, the video, because I had so much to say on it. And there's also, before we move on, there's exercises on uncovering the blocks for your debt and getting to know your debt, okay, so that you can work through your debt and pay it off. Okay, module 6, forgiveness. So in this one, we go in and we want to forgive any past emotions. So I go in and I have you uncover them. I give you some uncomfortable exercises where it's probably going to evoke some anxiety or some, may trigger you. You may feel some resentment or some guilt or shame, but that is the point. If you're not getting triggered, you're not uncovering and bringing up the feelings that we need to, okay? So in forgive and flow, I do give you some uncomfortable exercises. But what happens when you follow those exercises and you follow the forgiveness process that I give you, like I said, for me, it was like I unclogged like a decade or more of grudge from a pipe with a river that was waiting behind, and it just flowed, okay? So forgiveness is extremely powerful. You may have never even thought to forgive yourself or others or those emotions that you hold around that debt or that poor, I don't want to say poor, I want to say a mistake that you made, an investment that went sour, or money that you put out that you wish you had never spent, right? You probably hold on to that, and you probably have debt, and you look back and you say, often you may say, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here right now. If I didn't spend my money on that, my money situation would be a lot different. If I had have managed my money better, it'd be different right now. If you find yourself saying that, you definitely need to do the forgiveness process, okay? And once you're able to do that and let it go, the floodgates open. Now, forgiveness, depending on how much forgiveness work you have to do, it can be easy one and done, or it can take multiple tries. For me, I was able to do what I needed to do to forgive. I share what I did in my story in the academy, but I was able to do what I needed to do, and instantly it was like an elephant off my chest, and within months things just started to come together, right? But for others, if it's really clogged and there's a lot of deep stuff that you need to work through, it could take going through it and then revisiting it a week later or maybe a month later until you really feel that you can let it go and move forward. And when you know that you've forgiven yourself, you can move forward each day without holding those negative emotions about debt, without thinking about it every day, without waking up and it's the first thing on your mind, without going to bed and having it be the last thing on your mind. It's actually really freeing. And then module 7 is ready to receive. This is the last money block that I had to work through. And if I'm being honest, I am still working through it. And I learned that today because I went to get corn, and at the corn stand, the gentleman said, oh no, because he was a family friend. So anyways, he said, oh no, it's fine. You take the half dozen. No, don't have to pay. And I didn't take my own advice that I teach in this. And I didn't say, thank you. I said, oh no, I'll pay. And after I got in the car, I was like, damn it, you still have some work to do. And when you don't forgive, you're blocking the flow. I teach about the law of giving and receiving. It's a constant state of flow, of circulation. Someone gives and you receive. and it's a constant state of circulation. It's how the law of giving and receiving works. So I just blocked it there, and I blocked his because when you don't receive from others, you're actually taking from the giver, who so lovingly wants to give you something. So I know that I'm still working on that one, and you may or may not have troubles receiving, but forgiving is a money block, and so is receiving. And so I need to teach you how to receive. And yes, I'm still working on it myself as well. So for receiving, it's anything when it comes to how you do one area in life is how you do all areas. So if you've ever had trouble accepting a compliment, you likely have trouble accepting getting paid or making money or asking for a raise or having someone offer you help, right? So when you get into the flow of giving, receiving, and then I teach you how to receive in here, it's going to be uncomfortable. And I know it because I'm working through it right now. And it's uncomfortable to receive, right? Maybe not for everybody, but it's a common block. So if someone gives you a compliment, are you able to simply say thank you? Okay? And you're going to work your way up. A compliment for me was difficult to receive, and I'd say, oh no, or you just brush it off. I've moved past that, but then when you get into exchange of money and stuff, sometimes you can still feel triggered and uncomfortable receiving. It just means you need to keep working on it. Okay, so I give you prompts in here, and they really do work because I'm working through them right now. And I have you think about the giver. Okay, where can I find it? So like, for example, I have here, difficulty receiving is just another program that we've received through conditioning, likely from childhood. We feel uncomfortable accepting random acts of kindness, but we don't think much about it and probably don't even know why we feel that way. So difficulty receiving is just another belief that can be rewired. So not to worry, it can be rewired with work. And receiving typically comes from maybe you're mirroring a parent that had difficulty receiving, or maybe you were told when you were younger to be independent. Got to be independent. So receiving for you is difficult because you grew up or had this belief that you always had to do things on your own, or you're selfish if you receive. So all these beliefs come from within us that we need to work through. And then last but not least, at this time, because I still have a ton of stuff that I want to add to the Academy, but Module 8 is all about manifesting, okay? And I'm going to teach you how to do it. And once you've worked through all those, hopefully you've worked through the emotions of the exercises that I give you, that you're in a better position to be able to manifest effectively. And by manifesting, you're not just going to sit on the couch and wish for what you want. I have a whole slew of stuff. So I have these steps, and then I go into what I've personally done. So visualization, I teach you how to do that. Gratitude, powerful. But you can't just write the statements. So I go in and I teach you how to do it, because you can't just write down, I'm so happy and grateful for my coffee. It's deeper than that. There's a process behind it. You have to feel it, and you have to dedicate time and be in the moment for it, because it's the feeling that counts, okay? I can't say that enough. It's the emotion and the feeling behind it that is driving your train right now, and which will drive your train for whatever it is that you're hoping for in the future. And then affirmations and self-image script. And then goal card. This is important, extremely important. This income goal card is new to me within the last year, almost 2 years. And as soon as I did an income goal card, I 10x'd my income, okay? You have to be intentional about what you want. You have to, okay? Before that, I was wish-washy. I'd be wish-washy in terms of what I wanted to accomplish. But I didn't get detailed about specifics when it came to income. So I'm going to highly suggest you do that. And that's why we have this here, and it's something that you're going to look at and write each day. Okay, and then I just have your roadmap here. So this is my daily routine, morning and night, so I've put it in there for you to be able to follow exactly. So that is the workbook, jam-packed full of stuff. And then this here, I wanted to make sure that I included the money manifestation ritual. This is something I did in 2016 when I was first starting out on my money mindset journey, and it works. It works. So I wanted to throw it in because it's been a huge part of my journey and I want you to experience it. It's the 5x55 challenge. I don't know if you've heard of it, but you get laser focused, like you get really, so like I show you the instructions, and then you have to get really clear of your intention. So it's like your goal card, you have to know how much you want to earn. And then I give you a checklist, everything you need to do, and you basically write out your statement 55 times every day for 5 days. So it does take dedication and effort, but it is beyond powerful. And I would suggest doing it at least once a year. I'm probably due to do it again, and I'm probably going to do it because I got this workbook printed out, so I'm probably just going to use this workbook and do it again. And you'll want to do it for big goals. So not like, you wouldn't want to do it for like little things like, you know, what's a little thing? Time off next week, or, you know, things like that. You want to do it for like big things. Like I would stick to big income goals. And you basically, so I've got it all, you know, you've got day 1, and then I help you keep track by, you know, it goes 1 all the way to 55, then day 2, and it basically prompts you from 1 to 55 for the 5 days, and then what to do after. Once you're done, the ritual, congratulations, and what you do next is you just tuck it away, forget about it, move on. Okay? Exactly what I did. And I tucked mine away for so long that I just pulled it out this year. And everything I had wrote down in 2016 during this ritual was my current reality. It blew my mind, because when I wrote it, I didn't even have a job at the time. And everything that I wrote, it was almost 5 years ago in this ritual, when I uncovered it, this year I stumbled upon it and found it, was my reality. It is powerful. Okay? So that's it. That's all. Those are the 2 workbooks. So I'll repeat the promotion again. I have the link. I think I posted. I'll put it in the comments. You have until July 31st to enroll. You get $500 off, and you get the 2 workbooks printed by me, bind it, and mailed to you. After July 31st, the price goes up to its main price, which is $1,500, and you get the workbooks, but they're digital form, and you have to print them on your own. Okay? So that is the current promo for those of you coming in. And if you have any questions, let me know. I can't wait to teach you. I can't wait to help you broaden your awareness. This stuff is life-changing, not only in terms of money mindset, but life in general. Since I've dove into all this kind of stuff, I'm a much more happier, content person, like mellow. Yeah, it's really powerful. Well, guys, I think that's it for tonight. It's getting almost past my bedtime. Helen wants to say hi. Say hi, Elle. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'm here to serve you guys. I can't wait to watch the powerful transformations take place. Bye, guys.